Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to answer the question, is Kaspa quantum resistant? And before we go deeper into this, let's first define what is being quantum resistant. So this is also known as quantum secure, post-quantum, or quantum safe cryptography, which refers to the cryptographic algorithms that can withstand potential code-breaking attempts by quantum computers. So basically, quantum resistance is being able to resist a much more powerful computer chip, such as something like this right here that has recently come out by Microsoft. You've probably seen it, but this is supposedly a quantum chip that is able to basically process things much faster than classical normal computers, everyday computers that people have. And so the fears of quantum computing is the fact that these chips could essentially be used for mining, which then could mean that you could be building mining hardware that is ultimately way more powerful than the ones that currently exist and could pose threats to the security of cryptocurrencies. And not only that, you can also have to worry about quantum computers being able to crack public keys and to be able to figure out a private key of an address so that the quantum computer can actually send and receive funds from any particular address. Because typically classical computers can never crack a public key because it would take billions of attempts to be able to figure out the correct private key to get access to a particular address. So it's just practically impossible with normal computers, but quantum computers could pose a risk to cryptocurrencies. And so what would be the solution for Kaspa if this was to happen, where a quantum computer can provably start to be a real threat to something like Kaspa? Well, within the Kaspa community, we have Shai that is actually not only a contributor, but it was also in the process of completing a PhD in quantum cryptography. So these circumstances naturally lead many people to ask me about the quantum security of Kaspa. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the highlighted points here, but he does go really in depth when talking about this. He says here the most immediate quantum threat on blockchains is the Bonnet-Lipton attack on EC-based signatures, which would allow quantum adversaries to spend coins from wallets without knowing the public key. And then he says another problem would be a more exotic problem with quantum entities is quantum mining, which is what I kind of described here. But at the end of this discussion, he says here the good news is that the era of quantum mining is very far, if even possible, and requires machines of scales much larger than required to compromise EC signatures. So we have plenty of time to come up with solutions. He also made another recent post here, and it says, don't get quantum flabbergasted for Cas or anyone. And I'm not going to go ahead and read all of this, but the links will be down below to this down below in the description. But he basically ends off here saying, so whenever you hear about a breakthrough in practical quantum computation, recall that the field is so new that we don't even know how to benchmark the quantumness of an alleged quantum chip. Some of these developments are exciting and should be celebrated, but they are also much more incrementa than people, and especially people in science reporting care to admit, or PR people mitigating research that costs taxpayers and stockholders literally billions. Post-quantum security, the art of creating classical cryptography that is secure against quantum adversary, is rather new. And then lastly, there was a recent X-Space where Shai went ahead and joined it and talked about quantum resilience when it comes to Kaspa and Bitcoin. So the links to all of these posts will be down below in the description so that you can do a little bit more of a deep dive into this if you're more interested. But I basically just wanted to make a short video about quantum resistance, that currently Kaspa isn't quantum resistance, but the threat of quantum cryptography is not that near where a solution basically needs to be created. And ultimately, if there was a threat, Kaspa has one of the best people in the community that is already thinking about possible solutions that we can implement in the future. And of course, since Kaspa has never been really hesitant to make changes, this type of solution would probably require a hard fork, but we wouldn't really struggle with finding consensus in a hard fork that makes Kaspa quantum resistant. Thank you for watching the video. And before we go, if you have not considered becoming a Patreon member, this is a great way where you can support my work that I do here on YouTube. And I greatly do appreciate all of you that have already became members on the Patreon. It really does help me, keeps me motivated to keep making content for you guys. And when you do become a member, you do get a little bit of extra benefits. It is completely free to join my Discord. The link is typically always down in the comments section and it's pinned so that you can join it whenever. But if you join my Patreon, you can actually get early access to all of these YouTube videos before they go out live to the public. So you'll be the first to see them. And then also within my Discord, you will get access to see my entire portfolio when it comes to crypto and stocks. So if you want to stay up to date with exactly how much Kaspa I'm holding or Bitcoin I'm holding and whether or not I'm buying more and stuff like that, you can go ahead and join the Patreon to see that kind of activity as well. Thank you again for watching the video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.